It started with a question. What if we built a sport from scratch? One where equality wasn't an afterthought, but the foundation. A sport powered by speed, strategy, and soul. To some, it sounded crazy, too ambitious, too different, too bold. But to many more, it was exactly what they'd been waiting for. From city streets to mountain villages, from school gyms to open beaches, they heard the call and they answered. With fire in their hearts and no guarantees. They trained without courts, without funding, without fame, only with the belief they could rise, prove their worth, and take their place. They hustled 2 jobs, slept on buses, played through pain, and pushed through doubt. All of this for the chance to wear their nation's flag, to become part of something bigger than themselves. FXC is the only sport where every player starts equal. No prejudice, no stereotypes, 100% inclusive, no exceptions, no limits. It's co-ed, unified, unstoppable. This is what gender equality looks like in motion. Thrilling, raw, and impossible to ignore. FXC isn't just a game. It's a challenge to everything we thought sports could be. And now it's time. This is the 2025 FXC World Cup, broadcast in 3 languages from Lignano, Sabbiadoro, Italy. Who will come out on top? Fireball Extreme Challenge, a sport for the people, by the people.
Every artwork begins with energy, a vibration that comes from the soul. I blend spirituality, psychology, and neuroscience to transfer pure intention into every stroke. I don't paint with colors, I paint with consciousness. Art that elevates space and transforms the mind. Every masterpiece is 100% handcrafted with precision, emotion, and devotion.
Of CSIT, my family.
CSID Games. Hope to see you again in other sport events. Thank you very much.
Safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping up since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless, my daddy told me keep the heat even when I'm in forward.
Could have been 30, could have been a G. Should've never snitched. Why you took it to police? Now they're looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really wanna act silly, behave. When I was on stage and a milli gets made. I need that breeze. I feel sorry for Skepta, they copy these flow, but they said that it's a new flow. Imitation don't flatter me, but it's cool though. Should've ever left the guy alone in my studio. Put them in the coffin, get them on a tombstone. Yeah, I got a half of the price of a Kudo. Living like a boss man, nothing like Hugo. I need that
right bitch on the possibility. I two left feet and read by shawty get free. That shit free, that shit never let the bitch alone when I sleep. My son of bitch skip him, following my feet, but stuck up in the deep top.
It all began with an idea.
He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. They can't put out, carve your name into those shining stars. He said go venture far beyond the shores, don't forsake this life of yours. I'll guide you home no matter where you are. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. When I was just a kid I heard him say, when you get older your wild heart will So live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. These are the nights that never die. My father told me.
I can hear it in the other languages, and we're going to say it in English.
All right.
Good afternoon to everybody out there who's following us on our webpage, on our streaming. This is Tommy Munsell, and
this is Darren Williams. And Tommy, this is the moment we've all been waiting for.
It's the
Come
final.
down to this.
It's the final. So we're here in Lignano, Sabbiadoro, 7 December 2025. History in the making. The final of the first World Cup of the Fireball Extreme Challenge. And what a final it's going to be between Catalonia and Mexico. The Catalan team beat the Indian team.
Yep.
Mexico beat Spain. They were the first game was a bit of a closer game, although still 40-plus points different.
Yep.
Mexico dominated over Spain, though Spain did put out a great effort.
Yep.
And so it's the winners of the two semifinals. They're playing. They'll be facing off shortly, and I'll leave it to Darren to give some more information because he's the player. He knows the feeling on that court. For me, it's easy. I'm sitting up here watching, but I was watching him yesterday and watching the other players. Amazing. You guys are nonstop out there. It's just fantastic to watch.
Well, you know, the name of the game, Fireball, we can't stand still or walk, so it naturally moves very fast. And obviously, you know, we were always told a ball moves faster than you can ever run. So those two combinations usually lead to quite a pace. But we have two very talented teams here coming on. We have very, very talented individuals on both teams. And let's check out a little bit about the first game. Here comes India.
Yeah, they're a very young team. Maybe a little bit inexperienced for meeting against Catalonia, who, although they're young, they trained with the trainer of Spain, who was renowned for. He also was the last one to defeat Mexico.
Correct. Yes, and you know, this is a situation where India was thrown directly into the fire. This is not only their first international competition, this is their first official Fireball competition, period. And that's a recipe for a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline. But at the same time, inexperience can lead itself to mistakes like what we've seen right here, where we had a couple of turnovers caused by interceptions from Catalonia. And in this matchup coming up between Mexico, with all the experience and the speed that Mexico has, Catalonia is still going to have a height and length advantage, and I expect them to, if they want to keep up with Mexico's speed, use that length and that height to their advantage on a consistent basis. And so here's another deflection caused by one of the taller players on Catalonia. They ultimately didn't come up with that interception, but easily, if those are things that they continue to strike on, I anticipate that they'll start to come down with that more times than not.
Yeah, you know, for me, I'm sitting here watching the highlights and the reruns of the games. Not being a player, it's simple, there's a smile, but at the same time, having done sports myself, I cannot but stop and think about how much work, the effort, the toll on them of running around so much and non-stopping, because you can't stop.
Right.
Not that you can't stop. You're not allowed to stop.
Well,
you'll stop when it's a timeout, a substitution, and even those are all very quick.
Yeah, well, one thing I'd really like to highlight after having played on, and I know we talked about this in the previous broadcast, so many different types of surfaces that we've played on, from traditional basketball courts, both hardwood as well as sport court, concrete, outdoors, asphalt, or even sand and grass in some certain scenarios. This custom court feel has given the most generous return on the legs and the reactions that I've ever felt. And so I'm very, very pleased with how this turned out, both from a performance perspective, a visual perspective, as well as a feel perspective for post-game recovery, etc. So it's been a lot easier thanks to that. I think I could definitely attribute a lot of that to the manufacturing and the court material.
So here we're watching the highlights again of Spain versus Mexico, and there were some incredible plays, but on both sides.
Absolutely. As you can see on that interception that Mexico had that ultimately turned into a full court flip, it took 3 passes for Mexico to go from one end of the floor all the way to the other. And honestly, that I attribute to the court vision, but also the knowledge and communication between the players, because most of those throws were very confidently made without actually seeing where their teammate was. They had a general idea of the location they were supposed to be in, and once they had either made a verbal or visual confirmation, they then were able to make that pass with confidence, even though...
Now, I did see that there were a few more fouls in this game, but I think it also is... these are not fouls due to being nasty or mean.
No.
These are just fouls for the fired-up competitiveness that's out there.
Yep.
And with the sportsmanship that goes with it, because each time I've seen a player fall, everybody ran over there to make sure they were okay.
They absolutely
There were a
did,
few, like a minor injury of a bit of a sprained ankle, but we talked about that earlier on.
Yeah.
The kind of surface, you change directives so rapidly that sometimes that can happen.
Yeah.
It's not a dangerous sport. We're going to say this to mom and dads if they're looking and they want to think about their children. It's not a dangerous sport. Actually, the beauty of this also, it's an all-inclusive sport, because boys and girls, men and women can play together. There's no single type team out there. You have to have various players, and that was a cute play of on the highlights.
I don't know how I missed that in the game. I might have thought that was a practice inbounds, but that was awesome. I'm glad it made it to its intended destination.
I think there's one more highlight that didn't put in, was right at the end when there was a play that Spain played it behind his back and sort of broke up the play that would have brought Spain up probably. Mexico probably would have had more points than the 188.
Sure. Yeah.
I think 200 points is like a record if they had gotten close to that.
No, actually, I would say that the current record is about 356 total points. That was done by Mexico in one of the previous championships. And as you can see them warming up, I'm sure the veterans on this team, which I believe I see more than half, but it's probably about 8 of the 12 individuals on this team have been in this scenario before, and I'm sure they're drawing a lot of both experience and passion, as well as just confidence from having already put up that type of performance in a championship before. So I would expect to see some pretty significant numbers put up in this game.
And you just touched upon the former champions and the what they bring, the baggage that they bring to this game, the experience and the know-how, and both coaches have that, because the coach from Mexico, former player, and the coach for Catalonia, former coach for Spain. And I return to this issue that Spain is the last team to have beaten Mexico. And Mexico's been undefeated now for 6 years. So we're looking at the rules right now that are going to be passing by in front of us on the screen. And rule 1, scoring. 1 pass, 1 point. Very important to remember that. 1 pass, 1 point.
You know, it's always funny, Tommy, when I meet somebody new who's just being introduced to FXC for the first time, and they're like, well, where's the goal? Well, the goal is every single person on this court, okay? So it could be a completed pass to a teammate or one interception. That first catch is also a point, and so I know that that has been a point of emphasis for people that are just being introduced, because obviously a lot of you all at home are watching this for the first time. That is incredibly crucial. We're here now at rule number 2, which is each pass needs to be made within 2 seconds of receiving that pass. I'm sure at some point we will go over this part as well, but I always love to emphasize the auto pass, the self pass. If you pass it to yourself, it doesn't count as a point for your team or the other team, but it does allow you to get an additional 2 seconds to find somebody to pass it to.
Yeah, well, here is the third rule. Keep moving, never stop.
This is probably the kicker right here, Tommy. There's been a much better performance from all 4 teams this morning as far as being called for walking. I think that everybody got the idea yesterday after a handful of those calls. So we're excited to see the cleanliness of the performances thus far today as compared to a couple of them yesterday. So it's very exciting. Here at number 4, FXC is 100% co-ed, and quite frankly, we've seen equally incredible performances from both genders on the court today, and I think that that is something that really needs to be driven home to say everybody makes an incredible and necessary impact on the team, regardless of position, size, experience, regardless. Get out there and give it your all, and you will be a very invaluable part today.
This is something I think very important, the non-violent play. We just touched upon that. It's a non-contact sport, and violent behavior carries some heavy penalties.
Heavy penalties.
But I haven't really seen violent behavior.
Not at all.
And
Not at all.
I think that's one of the important things of this game. Sure, you can use your hand to try to get the ball, but I think it goes from the elbow to the
I was going to say, I know somebody had asked me about it in the middle of the game, actually yesterday. Somebody thought that there should have been a foul. It was open hand contact. As long as it's open hand contact, that is allowed for anywhere on a person that is possessing the ball from their elbow down, below the head and neck area.
Oh, look, here we're getting ready. The teams are starting to come in. We're getting ready now for this beautiful final, for the final of the Fireball Extreme Challenge here in Lignano, Sabbiadoro, 2025. We're here in Italy, and Catalunya is just coming on the court. Oh, they looked ready to go. They really look ready to go. And they will be followed by Team Mexico. After the teams come on to play, we will hear their national anthems for Catalunya and for Mexico, at which point the referees will go to their position, the players will move around and get in their positions, and we'll be off for the final. We will have an awards ceremony later on this evening. May the best team win. And here comes Mexico. Yeah, they're cheering themselves on. And there's a lot of fans that are out there cheering on for Mexico and for Catalunya.
Sure are. And you already see them getting bouncy and very excited. And they're running into each other. I can tell that's an overflow of energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. And I think it's going to show in the best ways possible here on the court. I also like to make a tidbit, just a little light commentary, comedic relief here. I'm a big fan of the Catalunya national anthem. I think it should be the intro song to like a big blockbuster film. And after this, I think all of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of emphasis on these brass horns right here.
That's an impressive anthem.
It is.
Really impressive.
It is.
But it's nice to see everybody standing here in respect. And here's the Mexican national anthem. Oh, I was getting excited for them because you can tell that there is they're charged. Let's put it that way.
Charged, absolutely. And one thing I'd like to mention, Tommy, and you mentioned it before about the coaching. Coach for Mexico, Jaime Goto, is running this bench like an absolute machine, and they are very meticulous with the rotational substitutions for Mexico. Mexico has a couple of players with slight lingering injuries here from previous matches or other impacts, and I'll be curious to see what type of playing time they get and how that impacts their rotation. I think it'll be very
because
telling.
I can see a player from Mexico coming back towards the bench, slightly limping. And he's a very important player for them, too.
Very important player. That is Alfonso, number 81. He is very, very, very good at the interceptions and turning those into extended plays. And so he experienced a little bit of a lower leg injury earlier in the weekend and played through that so far. And so I'll be curious to see how much time he sees the floor. I know the heart of all of these players on Mexico is about as big as you can get, and they won't be missing out on this opportunity. And he is starting.
He's actually starting.
So we're going to see what type of go he gives us, but they didn't come here to sit on the bench.
So the first possession of the 10 possessions, the first of the 10 possessions will be started by Catalunya. Catalunya starts.
Yep.
And this is possession number 1.
Let's see what type of start Catalunya gets out to. It'll be very telling in these first couple of possessions.
Catalunya have some height advantage.
Absolutely. Oh, they are not waiting and wasting any time. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, intercepted.
And look who it was right on cue.
I think there was a
little bit of a collision.
A little bit of a collision between two players.
They're helping each other up. We love the sportsmanship. That's what FXC is all about. But we're going to see what the call is here in a second.
They called it a foul against Mexico.
Mexico, yep.
And so it repeats the put in play. So This is still the first with a second attempt. And here they're off, and the passes are good. They're playing it high up and moving the ball.
Great high ball. This is an extended. Oh, that was a. Try to get a little bit cute with it. Try to get a little bit cute. I understand the vision there and the necessity for that as he was heading out of bounds. But there was an opportunity to get it back to the big fella for some extension on that play.
So now we're going to the second play put in play by the lane captain. And each time it comes in play, the captain changes. So each person has a chance at leadership here.
Yeah, so we have, in this format, each captain will serve twice consecutively prior to the change of captains. In this case, we got 3 by number 13 in the need for that foul to be reflected. So this will be the first full switch of captain possession.
So this is the third play.
This is the third possession. We have already completed that penalty possession. Quite frankly, I don't believe that Catalonia really took full advantage of the opportunity that they got that redo. It'll be very curious to see if they're able to do it. And an interception by Mexico, taken back by Catalan. And
they sort of gave it back and forth between them.
They gave it back and forth between them, and I thought that that was a very frantic throw there by number 8 in the corner. 2 seconds is much longer than you think, Tommy, on the court. I know that there's been some quick whistles at some points, but, you know, being a good judge of that is 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, get rid of it. And in some cases, it is also aligned with footsteps. And so as you continue to see the players get more experience on the court, that feel for the 2 seconds will improve tremendously. But at the same time, let's be a little bit more decisive with these passes.
So now we're into the 4th possession of 10. And they're doing the circle breakout, which I've seen happen a couple of times before. And it's really interesting how they open up the court this way.
Yeah, and in that case, there was a little bit of a too quick entry, in my opinion. Number 74 definitely did break away from the circle and have a little bit of a step on his defender, but the pass was delayed. Should have led him a little bit further in that direction in order to get it out of the reach of number 9 for Mexico. But we'll see what they break out here on this next inbound possession. And
so they're on their 5th. Want to point out that a little bit like in baseball when you get a lineup, you give out you know, their batting order. And it's the same thing here. You have to give your inbound order of how the players will be coming in, and it has to keep on like that. That's a good play. That's actually
okay.
Really
here we go.
open.
We're starting to get a thread going together with Catalan. A great up the baseline pass. Ball was knocked away from number 4 on Catalunya, and we're going to see here if that is reflected by a foul or not. It looked like a clean swipe at the ball, but there was a little bit of a grab of the left arm. So let's see if that's reflected in this repeat of a possession or not. And it will be repeated. There was a foul.
So far, I've only seen one mistake of putting inbound within the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
One mistake was made this whole tournament, so people have been quite careful about that.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Now,
that seemed clean, though.
It did, and as a player, I would love to see less of the dramatization of whether or not there was a foul. As you can see, there was no foul here reflected on that deflection, and we're having certain players staying on the ground a little bit longer than I think they should be.
And in fact, there's a change of players going on, and the ball's coming back up to the next. So we're at the 7th possession for Catalunya. You know, we might say this is a low-scoring game, 16-1, but it's just a moment of breakout. It just doesn't take much for things to change.
It doesn't at all.
And plus, right now, this is the first one. They're holding on to their energies for later on, and it's a lot of strategy going on of how to save that energy and get the ball into play and rack up points.
As well as to give an opportunity for positioning of players, you know, as the games go on and understanding. And here we have a successful inbounds, but a knockaway by Mexico for only 1 point by Catalunya. One thing I did notice earlier on is we're seeing an average of about 35 to 40 in the first possession of this game format, and I really think that that's the team starting to settle in and understand where the energy is, who has the mismatch or advantage against their defender, and being able to really take advantage of those things and get warmed up. So here we have a successful inbounds. And number 9 from Mexico is skying up to be able to knock that away. It's a no-fly zone for Mexico right now.
I thought having a ladder on the court was illegal, but I don't know how he climbed up there, but it's, well, that is a great play.
He absolutely is one of the most athletic players we've seen this weekend, and he has had quite a few of plays like that. That one might being the most height for sure. I'm seeing a consistency here with number 14 being able to break away. And we have a court flip. Here we go. Let's see if Catalunya can take advantage. And it's going back the other way. Broken up by Mexico again.
So I think we're coming up on the 10th play for Catalunya. There's a change on the court.
Yep.
Yes, and this is the 10th play for Catalunya now.
And quite frankly, it's telling because, as I just mentioned, we've seen that average to be closer to 40 for all of the teams that have participated in the semifinals. So it's going to be interesting to see how close to that 40 Catalunya can get for the first possession. I'm not saying that it's an indicator 100% by any means about a winner, but being able to stick with that average, at least in order to feel a level of comfort for the teams, is definitely going to be necessary. And here we go. We're playing the high game for Catalunya again, which they are very, very, very strong with. And court flip results in a
I think there was a head-to-head collision.
As we can see, the preference right now, or the deference, is on the Catalonian player that is still remaining on the ground. Mexico seems to be doing okay after the conclusion.
I think in any sport, when somebody touches their head, you want to make sure they're okay.
Absolutely. A major emphasis on head injuries. Obviously, want to make sure that there is a continuation of comfort.
He's walking on his own accord, and that's really good.
Yes.
And they're both making sure they're okay.
Yeah. I don't see any concussions, anything of that nature. It's not very common in FXC, but precautionary tale is make sure regardless.
So I haven't seen a foul called because I think it was just a collision.
I believe we are going to move on to the first ball possession of Mexico as well. I have not seen a foul either.
Yes, it is going to be the first possession for Mexico. So after the first 10 possessions, it's 26-1, but obviously things change. Sometimes they say stick around, the weather changes real quick, and that's
weather
what happens
changes
here.
real quick for sure. I mean, you see the score, the fact that Mexico has points on the board is already a good indication that they were playing tight defense, but at the same time, they haven't had the ball yet, and so to only be down 26 points with 10 possessions to go before they, and we had successful inbounds. It was a little bit rushed there on Mexico for a return back to the captain.
So Catalunya is changing a player. In the meanwhile, a player from Mexico is asking to tie the shoelaces. Said, please let me tie my shoelace real quick. And they're going to change that player so she can adjust her shoes and not waste time for everybody.
I can respect that because we've seen some delays of games.
Haven't we?
by the shoe tying earlier in the matches. And so obviously this is a Fireball Extreme Challenge. The extreme and the challenge part come in with continuation of movement, and there's a set amount of timeouts and substitution changes that limit the amount of breaks that the players get. That's all part of the challenge. So going and creating your own breaks by tying your shoes too long, trying to get away with something. 74 putting his body on the line there in order to be able to get that stop.
So we're in the third possession now for Mexico, and they're trying to get themselves squared away for this. And I can see them moving on the court, trying to position themselves and get ready for some open space running. So
I'm going to be curious to see if they've pulled out any new inbounds plays since everybody's seen everybody this weekend, Tommy, and so there comes to be a point where all the teams start to keen in on what a particular team or a particular player does well in given scenarios, and the inbounds is obviously the easiest to pick up on consistencies. And here we go with Mexico. That
was a good attempt. That was a good attempt.
It was a great attempt, and I'm wondering here about that right leg injury for Alfonso. Is that going to be a problem with getting the power behind the passes as he's coming out now? I'm hoping that this is just a slight slip and not something that lingers for the entire game.
So this is number 4 for Mexico.
Yeah.
And they're still at 7 points, so they still have to break out with some interesting plays. But
yeah,
as you said, anything and everything can happen here.
Anything and everything, and like you said, this is only 4 of 10, so we got at least 6 more to really start putting some numbers up.
What really amazes me is right now you see the professionalism of not going over the line.
Okay, here we go, and Mexico is off to the races. We have a court flip, our first court flip for Mexico, and they are utilizing it to their advantage. And we have a body contact.
It was a little collision, but part of the game.
Part of the game for sure, and quite frankly, I didn't really see anything foul related to that. I feel like, well, excuse me, Tommy, we're going to go ahead and honor it. There must have been some lower body infliction on that one.
So both teams have a foul each.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it was a lower body collision there. The hands were up and clear on that one, but inflicted by 74's right leg.
So if I understand this correctly, with the foul, it goes back to the line captain, and it's still the 4th possession.
Correct.
So it repeats for one more play, 4th possession.
Correct.
I see a player with an ice pack on the head.
That was the player that had the initial head collision for Catalunya, and we're hoping that he is okay as well. That was a breakaway opportunity there, Tommy.
But there was a bit of a misunderstanding, I think, with the players.
Yes, a little bit of a miscommunication. I'm surprised that they weren't able to capitalize on that more.
We've just been joined up here by Barbara, who has been exceptional over these past few days with organizing everything.
Yes.
I see her behind that computer typing away, getting things ready, re-answering. I'm amazed. I think if she had a few more hands, she would have had more phones around her and more typing. Just fantastic.
Probably so.
But this goes to the whole organization.
Absolutely. Well, I was just getting ready to say that, you know, we have to shout out everybody who has been a major contributor to the overall delivery of this weekend. It's been just nothing short of miraculous and just a testament to everybody's hard work and understanding of what this sport has in store for everybody that comes across it. And now we have a court flip.
Somebody got her on their shoulder, though. 2 or 3 players on the court. What happened here? I think
I'm waiting to see it as well.
What's going on is that there's a lot of it's intense.
It is intense.
And because of that, you know, the players are really putting everything out on the line. Mm-hmm. They know it's for the final. They know they're playing for that trophy. They want to do the best possible, and they realize how difficult it is. Let's just hope everybody is okay. Again,
absolutely.
Unfortunately, you know, the court is a hard court. So if you hit it wrong, you know, it's going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But these are really good athletes, strong athletes, to be able to stand up and play for 2 hours running around.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing, the hard work that's been put in by the coaches. And let's see here, both Catalonian players are up on their feet. He's rubbing his shoulder, but he looks okay. They just want to go and check him out, make sure he's fine. That's the important. Let's just hope everybody's okay. As I've said this before,
got a little bit of a bell rung, and hopefully he just needs to stretch it out, get some liquids in him, and
right,
we can go ahead and get back to playing.
So while all that was happening, I wasn't paying attention to the score, but look at the score. It's even up, 26 all.
You and I were seeing different things based on our angles here, Tommy. I was watching the play, and you were witnessing what was going on where the ball wasn't. And so we need to address both. And quite frankly, Mexico was on a tear there and on the verge of a couple court flips. So there was major point potential there, but they have tied the game up only about halfway through their total possessions for this first part of the match.
So Catalonia just changed the player, and
they're changing one more.
The Mexican player is counting the players to make sure he's got the right amount of players on the team on the field.
Well, that is a significant infraction, and you can't even come out of your bench box without getting some deductions and points here, Tommy. So
I saw that happen earlier on today.
Sure did, and it was a significant deduction. It was 10 points.
But that was actually Catalonia, I think, that got that problem.
It was, and they were able to navigate that game despite it. And here we have Mexico breaking out for a court flip. That was some pretty significant contact there on behalf of Catalonia. I'm going to be surprised if this isn't broken up because of a foul. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was some residual contact because the ball was lost with no, you know. There's some jockeying there at the end, a little extracurricular activity post drop. Seeing some mind games out here being played by Catalonia, Tommy. I'm sure that that's going to be something that either continues in their favor or it might end up getting them in trouble and biting them in the butt.
So there's a change for Mexico, and it's the possession number 7 of 10. So we're beyond the halfway mark of the second possession of the game. The first for Mexico. We've already had the first for Catalonia. Remember, there'll be 3 sets of 10 possessions per team.
Correct.
And
well,
again,
Mexico
is moving real fast.
Inbound.
And
all right, we are starting to get real testy out here. I'm wondering here, Tommy, what the conversation's about on the floor between the players. It's always interesting, and there's lots of, you know, friendly smack talk, but right now we're going to see if things don't get a little bit chippy here in a second, and I am hoping that it doesn't lead to anything intentional.
So you see them trying to get the ball in play.
We have a triple cross here by Mexico, and we are starting to get back into their inbounds play.
You're going to have to throw it inbound pretty soon because...
Very soon, and here we go. Led by their veteran Sabbiadoro, who's always available for the inbounder to get things started. And we are seeing an extended play by Mexico, making great use of the auto pass. And it is broken up by Catalonia. But we did have a 13-point spurt there on that possession, and Mexico is starting to implement their will.
So right now, Mexico is going up for their 9th possession. As long as the referee flags are up, means no clock is running. Once they come down, they have to, and there was just a substitution going too. So once the flags come down, the time starts up on the clocks, and the 5 seconds run, and then it's a 30-second run.
Correct.
So this is the 9th possession for Mexico on this first set of 10 possessions for Mexico.
And right now, Tommy, they've got a 13-point lead with 2 more possessions in this set to go, and I expect they're going to build on this significantly prior to the first intermission.
We can hear some feedback on the microphones from the fans out there that are yelling and calling.
I mean, very enthusiastic. I mean, we're having a little bit of a gap here right now, and I'm not quite sure what is impacting this, but ultimately we're going to go ahead and get things started back up with 9th possession here in the first set for Mexico. I'm going to be curious to see how quickly they inbound it here, or if they're going to run Catalonia a little bit. I know as we have...
I like to see some of those runs and spins. Again.
Here we go with a quick imbalance to a veteran, Teresa, and we have a foul. Nope. It's going to be a 2-second violation held
against Mexico.
Against Mexico. Well, Catalonia is holding on strong here as far as not letting this score get out of hand in the first match. So I think it's very telling that they understand what type of firepower Mexico has and can potentially deploy at any moment.
So this is the 10th possession, and they're trying to get the court opened up and trying to get players freed up. And
okay, and here we go successfully, but it was a little bit.
Did they get 1 point out of that?
They're going to get 1 point out of that, but it was a successful rip from Catalonia. I don't see a foul call on this at all. Oh,
foul from number 8 in Catalonia.
Now this is the case right here, Tommy, where there was a swipe across the arm. The ball was in a fine position as far as being able to go for that swipe steal, but she made contact well above the elbow, which automatically.
If I can understand this, now Catalonia has 2 fouls, but this is the 10th for Mexico, but it's the 10th. Again, they repeat the 10th and they maintain the points.
Correct. Yes. So this is, I guess you could call it 10B.
Exactly.
And we'll get 10C shortly.
If there were another foul, could you go to something like 10C? Because they'd have to go back and do it, right?
Correct. And another successful inbound. Sabbiadoro, like I mentioned, always available for the inbounder. We have a whistle, but it's not being reflected right now, and they're continuing to play.
We don't understand the players. I think the ball went out of bounds. So we hear.
Let's see if we can get the replay an idea as to what was called. I know our view right here is a little bit skewed based on our vantage point. Was it a 2-second violation, or are we looking at a double auto pass? Because I did not see an out of bounds.
Now, a 2-second violation is a 2-point violation, correct?
Not if it is for the team with the ball. It's a 2-second hold. It's just an end of possession.
So, if I understand this correctly, this is the changeover. It's going to be Catalonia coming up to play. No. Oh, here's the call instead. Right. Oh, there's 2 minutes of recuperation time. Because
end of possession. We have our first intermission. The teams are going to go to their benches. Coaches will have to put in some mid-game. You know, we're going to have some strategy here, but we're going to have to make some adjustments. I feel like it was a little bit of a slow start for both teams. We've seen that Mexico was able to reach that average for the first game. No real surprise there, quite frankly. Catalonia, a little bit shy, but still very much in range, and there's a lot of game left to go. So I expect that this gap will be tightened up very shortly.
The good thing is I don't see anybody sitting over by the medical bench.
I don't either.
And that means that the players are back onto their bench, and hopefully everybody's doing fine. And we're doing fine up here. Heck, how can you not be fine? We're in Lignano, Sabbiadoro, here in Italy, watching history in motion, the event of this day, which is the final between Catalonia.
Well, when you've got fireball being played, especially international competition of this magnitude, the weather's always nice, Tommy. The weather's always nice.
And here the players come back on the middle of the court. And there's just some saying hi, basically, for the players as they walk by each other.
I mean, I would say that they haven't seen each other in quite some time, but, well, we all know that's not true. So let's see if any of that boiling blood from the first match is still boiling.
So So now we've done with the first round of 10 for both teams.
Yep.
So we move now to the second round of 10 for both teams. The first round of 10 on the second round, on the second set, would be for Catalunya. So the first play is coming into play. Once the countdown's done, 30 seconds, and she's running up and down the captain's lane, getting ready to put that ball in play and finding some player open as they run around. And they're going to use that height advantage. Sure do.
All right, always do. He's always available to his team on the inbound. And we have a steal by Mexico, and they are breaking out into the open court. Let's see if they can get a court flip. Sure can. Always open in the corner after an interception, and they are taking full advantage. Let's see if we can get another court flip because we have some open down the other end, and it is aggressive. Mexico is being aggressive on this first interception. That is a foul without a question on number 13, and the bench for Mexico is fired up.
Look at the players out there. Look at the players. They're really getting into it. Amazing. Amazing play. A lot of points.
I mean, not only did we see a 12-point increase on that interception, but at the same time, I expect that the Spain team, or the, my apologies, the Catalonian team is going to be a little bit rattled after that turnover, because that was a masterclass on capitalization on the turnover.
So we're going to second possession.
I'm not going to lie here, Tommy. If we have the foul indication, I would anticipate that Mexico would have gotten to inbound.
But this is a foul for
24.
Of Mexico? No.
Well, they don't have a 24 out there, so I'm
So
not
basically,
quite sure.
Catalunya's got 3 fouls.
Yeah.
Three individual
It might
fouls.
have been a walking infraction based on the late substitution rather than a contact
What do they
foul.
call a lane invasion?
Not a lane invasion.
So number 14 had a fault.
It should be a push-off, most likely, which is going to result in a foul on number 14 for Catalunya, which also
They're trying to tell him to relax. It's okay. Move on. So let's see.
I also anticipate that foul will result in the loss of possession there, Tommy. That's huge. Yep, they lost that possession. Possessions in this game are incredibly valuable. We can't just be giving them away. Let's see if they take their time here. Catalunya getting it in. Oh my goodness. That turnover has got them rattled a little bit here, Tommy. I can see that they still haven't been able to recover. Self-inflicted wounds by another team is when Mexico starts to smell blood in the water. And we know what happens when there's blood in the water. So we have a second possession inbounding here for number 24, and he did just have a little bit of a short-armed inbounds. Let's see if he can capitalize there. All right. Oh, reliable. Number 13 is back into it for this tournament. Oh, and we have a slight wipeout and collision. Let's hope that we don't have anything drawn out. Nope, everybody is up and at 'em.
I think more than anything else, it's just the frustration with yourself that you didn't get that ball.
It's absolute frustration, and quite frankly, he was going to be. It was going to be a miracle to be able to save that, because.
So number 5 Mexico gets charged with the penalty.
Yep.
With the foul. Right there.
Yep. Now, Tommy, I hate to keep bringing this up, but here we go again with the excessive shoe tying. We have a dedicated and designated excessive shoe tire.
Yes, I think we've had.
All right, so we have a repeat based on that foul for Mexico's number 5.
So they're still on the 4th possession.
That is correct.
Catalunya.
And they had a little bit of a run going there, so we're glad to see that this is going to be able to be continued. We have thrown it up and still saved by number 4 for Catalunya, and we have got our court flip.
For a moment there, I thought they were going to break out.
I thought they were going to break out. That had potential for 10+. And quite frankly, I know that number 24 is kicking himself here with another short arm on the pass. A little bit of a miscommunication. All right, we are progressing to possession number 5.
Right. Possession number 5. And again, you know, Mexico's really defending well.
Yeah.
And Catalunya is trying to break out. And they've had a few chances to do so, but Mexico's always been there present.
They've been right there. And
The defense, the coach has really done a great job. And again.
Now here's the thing. The savvy veterans on Mexico are starting to pick up that number 13 for Catalunya is their go-to inbound option, and they are starting to swarm him as they get close to that neutral line. I'm surprised there haven't been any neutral line infractions based on this play. But
now, I'm going to ask you a very nasty question here.
Okay, I'm ready.
If I understood this correctly, one of the first games you all played against Mexico, you thought you had him with height and going around them,
Sure
but it
did.
didn't work out that way.
Did not.
And so I'm seeing something of a similar attitude for what I remember the story.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing something similar, trying to go for the height, and yet you still have skilled players around you that will try to intervene one way or another.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the height can definitely play in your favor in a lot of ways, especially in desperation situations. But ultimately, if you're going to play that game, you can't bring it down because Mexico has a range of height on this team. They have height, but they also have the savviness of the players that are not quite as tall. And so, therefore, it's going to be curious to see, hey, here we go. Here we go. It's literally exactly what we're talking about, Tommy. We have a height advantage for number 13, and I just said they have honed in on the fact that he is their inbound go-to number 1 option right now. And the fact that he is being keyed in on now by the defenders from Mexico is about to be very telling for Catalunya moving forward, because if he is their only option for getting the ball in, Catalunya is going to be in trouble for moving forward. You need to be able to see the options diversify for inbounding, because number 1 option will honestly quite quickly get closed out, especially if it's a consistency for a team and the attacking team is picking up on that.
So they're trying to have a difficult time coming inbound because their inbound player is normally being guarded, but they've actually narrowly managed to come through on that one. Unfortunately, it was a bounce pass. I mean, when you do the
it was a double auto pass
move.
and a double, and so we had a successful inbounds, which led to one additional pass. However, there was a little bit of a fake your own teammate out here with the auto pass being of such height. So we have a timeout here taken by Catalunya. We need to talk over some strategy here about halfway through their second game possessions to be able to continue to maximize on those.
So, sorry, I was clearing my throat on that one. You know, I'm just thrilled to watch what's going on the court, because there is this animosity. There's desire to achieve. I can see the trophy from here. I can see the medals from here. And I know that's what they're aiming for. But I can still see such a behavior on the court. Sure, there might be a little bit of frustration because you're not achieving what you want. But I still see a fair play.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the name of the game here. You know, I know it's fireball, don't worry. But it's still fair play.
Yeah, well,
and they all start with an F. Fair play, fun. It's just and above all, fireball.
There we go, and it's all in the nature and name of the game. So, oh my goodness, this is a great fake. But
and again, they impeded. It's always the same player.
Team Mexico has honed in on a little bit of a deficiency here for Team Catalunya as they are struggling to inbound without their height advantage. Now we have one of the more veteran players for Catalunya here inbounding, And we're going to be very curious. He has a lot of fire in him. He's had some fouls committed earlier in the game.
And here they did go for height.
Yeah, they did go for height, and they also went for consistency. But once again, number one for Mexico is right there, sticking with them.
It's like if they studied their game book.
Well, you know, they had film from the game this morning, and there was a little bit of a time gap between these two games, so I wouldn't be surprised with the intellect of the Mexican coaching staff if they didn't go and review that and make sure that that was a priority number one for discussion.
So they're going for their 10th inbound.
This is going to be very telling. They are still down.
They went back to the same.
All right. Value this possession, Catalunya. Is going to be very important. And as I say that, we have a throwaway. We're starting to see it on some of the faces of the Catalan players. It's a very frustrating experience right now to know that you're still down by 9 points and you've just about used up your entire rack of second game inbounds. And Mexico is about to get the ball back here very shortly, Tommy.
And I think it's actually Mexico's coming up to do the inbound, the second round for Mexico. So after basically 1.5 rounds of 3, the score is 54 Mexico, 45 Catalunya. It's a low-scoring game because it's a very intense defensive game.
It is very intense.
And the beauty is trying to see that, you know, they get some passes in. Oh, there was a line infraction. There's a line infraction for number...
I'm waiting for clarity here on the foul, and we'll see. It's called on number 24. Okay, he's grabbing the jersey. That's a problem. This is a non-contact sport here, Tommy, and the grabbing of a jersey
for one possession.
I'm not surprised because that is very much voluntary. If you're grabbing a jersey, you meant to do that.
And this is still the first possession.
Correct.
So one player for Catalunya has 2 fouls.
Well, not only that, they now have to have a player sit out. So Mexico is at an advantage with the 7-on-6 here for the next 2 inbounds.
Right, because they get to repeat the first one because they never got through with it.
Correct. Well, quite frankly, Tommy, that one never even got started. So we'll see what happens here. Mexico is smartly taking their time here to run some clock, and we've got it inbounded to number 9.
There was walking.
2 seconds. It was a 2 seconds violation here, Tommy. He was holding the ball a little bit too long. I'm surprised that Mexico is usually very consistent with having an outlet pass here in the top corner if it's inbounded by the lane, and there was just nowhere to be found there.
There was a bit of a changeover of players. I think they need it because they've been out there for quite a while, sprinting and running.
They have. And as I mentioned, Mexico is very mechanical about this platoon swap. So this doesn't surprise me at all that we had quite a few new faces into the court here. And I expect they're going to bring some fresh leg energy.
So it's still
a 10-point game here, 55-45. We're on inbounds number 2.
So if this is inbound number 2, shouldn't Catalunya still be playing with only 6 players?
You're right, Tommy. I don't think that they were afforded the opportunity to have that first inbound be a repeat because they ultimately never got it in. It was a pre-entry foul. Well, that's going to be a foul for sure on number 24. He did not even see where the ball was. His back was turned to the player.
We're trying to, yeah, they called it a foul.
Yeah. we go with the next possession for Mexico. Dragging their timeout. Is there going to be a walking foul here, Tommy? Because that was a pretty quick whistle within the possession. The ball hadn't been entered yet.
Number 10 of Catalunya was a line violation. No, there was a foul. So now we have players from Catalunya have fouls.
There's a lot of frustration being shown here now, Tommy. I mean, this is 2 pre-entry fouls on Catalunya in the last 4 possessions. Quite frankly, these fouls are adding up much too quickly and will ultimately result in a lot of players having to sit toward the end of the game.
I see some mismatches going on the sides here, especially player being left completely by herself.
Her player was there, and they went right to her and took advantage of that space. Okay, props to number 4 there for interjecting immediately into that and cutting that possession to a minimal.
Well, after seeing all the matches, I'm finally starting to catch on some of the plays the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to say a single word about what's happening because you're so thrilled by watching it, the movement and everything. It's like, oh, yeah, like a child just in a candy store.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
I can't believe that's happening.
Especially with the talent on the court right now and the veteran leadership that Mexico in particular has, but as well as Catalunya, they're showing poise despite the fouls in order to be able to play a much more decisive game than a couple they've played in the past.
So we're, I think, at the 4th possession right now because there had been a foul. So instead of being the 5th possession, it's still the 4th because one was repeated. So we're at the 4th possession, and they're calling out the play.
We have a new inbounds play there by Mexico, and it was not taken advantage of. I feel like
number 24 did a very good defensive job breaking that up. He came in there real quick and knew what happened and swapped that away.
Sure did, and it was definitely one where they were breaking way too quickly at the neutral line. I'm not going to lie, Tommy, that play right there surprised me a little bit from Mexico. Usually they're a lot more disciplined as far as the inbounds and approach of the neutral lane. So I'm going to be interested to see how they alternate from that last experience. Well,
there's a few inbounds that I think are not Mexico. In the sense that that's not how they normally put it in.
Right. Well, that's exactly what I was saying.
Unless they're trying to confuse Catalunya, that's what they want to play and get them to play up there and hope for a fast breakout. I'm not the coach, so I can't make that decision.
I'm not.
But it sure seems bizarre that they would play it in that sense when they have everything piled up right there by the front line.
I'm very surprised in that the last 2 inbounds by Mexico, they're usually much more disciplined about not only where but how to receive the inbounds, and they're very consistent with knowing exactly where to go with it once they do receive that inbound. So I'm very surprised that that happened in the past, not just 1 but 2 consecutive possessions for Mexico. Now, number 1 inbounding here for Mexico has got to be careful because
lane violation. Yeah, Mexico had a lane violation.
It was on Catalunya. It was not on Mexico. 2-point deduction from Catalunya's total score here. That was very unfortunate.
60-45. You can hear the Mexican players yelling, let's get going, let's get going. So they're calling scheme 1, getting ready to put the ball in play. There was a 2-point violation.
All right, and here we have it. Let's see if we can use that for fuel. They've stolen a play out of our playbook here with a consistent basketball inbounds possession play. And it has worked in their favor. They've gotten the ball out, and they are on the way. But there was a 2-second violation here where number 9 had the ball for just a second too long before finding number 1 back on the baseline. That had breakout potential where there was no one in front of number 1 in the captain's lane right here.
So is this number 9 coming up?
Ocho.
Oh, so number 8. I actually counted it right.
Well, as we know, viewers at home, keeping track of which possession we are on, depending on how many fouls are committed by per team, can be very confusing. And understanding how to still be able to capitalize on those opportunities per team. Oh my goodness, we have another pre-inbound infraction here by Catalunya. Let's see what the call is here, Tommy, because it's a double foul. Okay, so we have a double foul here, Tommy. So this is not going to be as much of a hit to Catalunya.
So one balances out the other.
They're going to be battling. They're going to be balancing themselves out for sure. But Catalunya is racking up these fouls very quickly. So if they're to commit another one, I'm not going to be surprised if they start to have to play down a man here shortly as well. Because of the double foul, Mexico did end up losing that possession.
They lost the possession, so they're now at the 9th possession.
We're having a little bit of friendly fire here with the substitutions for Catalunya. I'm curious as to how much that's going to linger on the bench.
So let's see what happens here. We're closing in on the last portion of the second round of 10 for Mexico, and they do get the ball in play.
I'm not surprised here, Tommy. We've got a very experienced veteran in Daniela being able to inbound that. But we have a turnover, and Catalunya is taking advantage. It is cut short, but that might be the spark that they need in order to get the juices flowing for Catalunya again very shortly.
67-48, and yes, and we're coming up on the last possession for Mexico.
I mean, that was a very uncharacteristic pass there by Mexico. They're usually very good with the long ball, but that one was a little bit more dangerous than the ones they usually like to aim for.
So they come back. It's interesting how they spread out, they regroup and spread out again.
Now, I'm not going to lie, Tommy. We're going to have to go back into the archives to pull up another story. In our very first competition as Team USA, as we almost got to see a court flip here and an extended possession by Mexico, you can start paying attention to this play at the beginning if they run this line play again, which was a staple of ours in our early days. We have witnessed some players with consistency to foul start to be baited by players that are savvy enough to recognize what their foul count is, because if the same player commits that amount of fouls, you will see them on the bench for an extended period of time. And I am very certain that Mexico is clear as to who on Catalunya has those fouls, and they are putting their vets in position to be able to draw some more of these pre-entry fouls, which could ultimately be a significant game-changing advantage for Team Mexico. So be very, very wary of the fact that they're baiting a couple of these players, in particular number 24 and number 74 for Catalunya, who have multiple fouls on them right now.
I think that's a little bit like the same when we used to play basketball and they said drive in on that player.
Drive in on that player.
4 or 5 fouls, drive on to that player.
Well, ultimately, not only that, but if they ultimately get disqualified because of fouls, there is a hefty 30-point penalty for a disqualification because of fouls.
That can really hurt a team.
That can hurt a team immensely, and we were able to get that enacted in one of our games in our first go down in Mexico, because we had an overzealous attacker for Team Mexico in that particular team, and well, he ran a couple players over out of frustration, ultimately had to sit the rest of the game. And that 30 points really helped us out to get a club win in the preliminary rounds.
That's when, as a coach, you get an ice bucket and you say, here, chill out.
Yeah, well, I hope that for the sake of Catalonia, that the coach is also familiar with this rule and telling them in that intermission, be very, very careful with how you are pursuing an attacking player.
So here we are at the last of 10 possessions for Catalonia, and this is it. Catalonia has to do the best it can with this, because afterwards, if it goes to Mexico and they're up, people can say, well, why can't Mexico just throw the ball out of bounds each time to keep their points?
And we have an interception by Mexico, and I am not surprised. Who is it? Number 81, Alfonso, back in the passing lane for another interception. Wasn't able to keep his balance and stay in bounds to capitalize on that, but once again, another Catalonia possession cut short. Now, you just mentioned talking about valuing these next couple possessions, Tommy, for Catalonia, and not quite off to a great start as far as that's concerned.
Now here's the circle. This has always been fascinating how fast they break out of this.
It is, but you know what I'm more surprised about, Tommy? In the last game, Catalonia had a very effective inbounds play that was stemmed from the top left corner of the court as it pertains to the captain's lane, where a player would weave through the lineup and they were the designated inbounder. And I haven't seen that utilized here much in this match.
Number 9, Mexico.
Let's see what the foul here is, and there's a little bit of a hip check on number 14 or 74 for Mexico.
One ball possession out for 2 fouls. That's number 74.
Yeah, it's on Nueve in Mexico, number 9.
So both of them are going to be sitting out.
No, I believe it's only on Mexico.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, no, it is. It's on both teams. Okay, this is the most fair power play I've seen so far.
It's 6 against 6.
It's often been a 7 against 6, 7 against 5 in this format. I'm surprised that this is the case, but I think both teams are happy if they're going to have to take a foul like that, that it's an offsetting foul. So we'll see what they can do with an even more wide open court now with one less player for each team.
Oh, my goodness, this gets really intense because 6 against 6, a big court and a lot of motion. And so they have to sit out for 1 ball possession.
Okay, let's see. Catalonia has an opening here, and they have a successful entry. This is, oh my goodness, it's turned over by Mexico, and it's turned back over, and Catalonia has the ball again. They are breaking out here. There's that's going to be a double auto pass. Advantage to Mexico, though, because they were able to intercept that.
There's going to be a foul call. I think there's going to be a foul call on that one.
I would not be surprised at all. There was a lot of lower body contact there.
It's just part of the energy that goes in the game.
Correct. And quite frankly, Tommy, you know, this is a non-contact sport, end all be all. However, this looked to me more like legs being tangled up here.
Right.
And
in fact, he's upset because he didn't manage to get through. He's not upset with everybody.
Exactly.
It's cute to see that thumbs up to the opponent and then the hug.
Honestly, that one could have been let go, but, you know, at least as far as keeping things clean out there and the blood pressures being high with players being off the court.
Oh, there's a foul, actually.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm almost glad that they did call that foul in order to keep things clean here, but it could have just been an entanglement.
And the 2 players that were out, they come back in.
All right, well, let's see if the players having to sit out one energizes them at all in order to be able to start a little bit of a run.
They're saying hi to each other, both the players that went out on the foul. So that's fun as well.
It always is, you know, a little bit of the semantics, a little bit of the jockeying around, you know. Oh, here we go. Successful inbound for Catalonia. We got to see if they're going to be able to turn the court around. And they do. It's time for a breakout. we have a court switch, and it's intercepted by Mexico, but it is deflected by Catalunya after a double bobble, which results in a double auto pass and ends that possession.
Double auto pass.
Yep. I gotta say, number one for Mexico is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You don't see him, and immediately he is there as far as the ball arrives in your airspace.
So Catalunya's coming up now for being halfway through, 77-63. It's still a very close game. It won't take much to get those points back sometimes. Let's see how this works out. Here they're off
we have
again.
another successful inbounds. Are we gonna get a foul here, as there was a turnaround? I think it was most likely involuntary and probably not going to be called here, as it was a swipe for the ball. But then again, we do have face contact. One thing I must say, though, to also recognize here is there was no call here made for a foul, but I'm not seeing a proper utilization of the replays allowed in this level of competition by Catalunya. Where the coach for the team may ask for a clarification by the table in order to be able to review that, where both coaches would have to report to the table for an explanation.
I only saw that earlier on today. It's the first time I saw that.
Yeah, that is only allowed in the professional format, and so therefore we didn't see any of them yesterday because it is not a part of the short format game. However, I am very surprised that it wasn't utilized right there. Okay, and here we go. Catalunya is back off. That is very dangerous.
So that ball went up in the air around a lot of green jerseys.
Catalunya is very fortunate that that fell to the floor, because I'm not going to lie, Tommy, the backside of the court there was looking wide open for Mexico, and it could have been a significant advantage for a court flip that resulted in
77-68. There's only 9 points difference.
There's only 9 points difference, but we are quickly running through these possessions for Catalunya, and they will not be getting the ball back, save for an interception while Mexico has the ball. So it would behoove them to be very, very safe with these passes in order to rack it up.
And that didn't help the situation.
No,
I can
it
see
did not.
being upset, but the teammate trying to comfort his own.
Well, the pressure is mounting and building. I think it's starting to set in here that they are rounding out their allotted possessions for Catalunya, and they know where the score stands before Mexico even gets the ball back. So I expect that we're going to see some more passes with a little bit more frantic angst, and hopefully that still results in some completed passes. All right, and Catalunya is doing a great job of moving the ball. That is a dangerous pass.
Is that a foul? She went for the ball and
No, it is not, Tommy. No, it is not. That was ball first contact, and I really, truly hope there's no foul called here, because there has been a little bit of excessive exaggeration on some of these contacts.
In fact, she deflects the ball, and then they fall into each other.
Exactly. Oh, they did end up calling the foul on Mexico. This is a situation where it's body control overall here, and so she was unable to do that as during the pursuit of that pass. So very fortunate for Catalunya to be able to get this replay.
Oh.
Wow, and it's going to result in a ball possession sit out for number 10 of Mexico. This is the opportunity that Catalunya has been waiting for, to be able to have an advantage.
4 points behind.
They're only 4 points behind.
And
they have advantage.
So this can be a really...
This can be a changing point for the game if Catalunya is able to take full advantage of their...
She's upset about having to come out. So Mexico is still defending very well, even though there are only 6 players out there, and they're going to do everything they can
All right, and we're starting to get some consistency here. You got to take advantage of the player that is out, and who is that on? We have an opening,
and they broke it up.
And they broke it up. Now, they will be out for one more entry here for Catalunya prior to the player on Mexico returning. So that was a nice start in order to be able to take the lead, but if they want to go into this next round of possessions for Mexico, they're going to want a cushion here. Otherwise, they will be kicking themselves if they didn't take more advantage of the fact that they were up a player.
So Catalunya is changing a player, and it's possession number 7, I think.
All right, and we are seeing great sportsmanship here for the player that was previously knocked down, ultimately leading to the one possession out for the player on Mexico. So let's see if she can come in with some fire and get a spark here for Catalunya to rack up some more points while they are in this power play situation.
So they're trying to find an open player. I mean, they do have the possibility of open players because they're one player up and
am I surprised? Alfonso closing out the passing lanes again, putting his body on the line for that dive.
So with that play, actually, Mexico comes back to play with 7 players on the court.
Correct, and so here we have an example of not taking advantage of the opportunity of being up a player. Emotions are starting to rise here for Mexico. They know what is at stake here, and they know that they are at a significant advantage as far as the amount of points that they need in order to take the lead here.
So now we have a full court again, and I think they were nearly at the end of the Catalunian possibility of making points. They are in the lead 81-77, but we still have to wait for the next round of 10 for Mexico.
Tommy, as we've already seen, these point gaps can be closed incredibly quick. And I am not particularly sure why Catalunya is so set on not returning to a player that had just recently caught the ball. There is a lot of opportunity.
Like they keep on moving forward. It's like they want to go in a circle, but they don't want to do that back and forth.
But also there needs to be a circle within the space that's already being created. We had an opportunity to go back to 74 and back to 13 after they had released the ball to number. Excuse me, number 6
we were done.
Here.
Catalunya was done,
4.
and I think we're starting the last round of 10 for Mexico. Mexico is
looking very confident on the bench right now. As
after all, they're down
just
8 points right now.
Yeah,
8 points can be caught up real easy, especially if you have control and possession of the ball.
That's right.
And they're taking their time to make sure everything's okay.
Be very, very smart here with this first inbounds. And I am not surprised by how Mexico has gotten the ball in there, closing this gap. Oh my goodness, a golden opportunity missed here. Now, 74
it's easy for me from up here to say she shouldn't have gone back forward with the player coming towards her. She had a player to the side, but we have a different view of the court.
We have a different view of the court, and I'm not going to say shoulda, woulda, coulda, but shoulda, woulda, coulda make that catch as opposed to talking about where the ball should have been thrown. I know 74 is definitely kicking himself as far as a missed opportunity.
So 85-81, Mexico is going for its second inbound of 10.
Now, I am not surprised whatsoever that they have started to move. They got into it a little bit quicker than I would have expected. This gap has been closed, Tommy, and we are ready for a court flip. Oh my goodness, Alfonso with an incredible pump fake, and they are out of here. There's a player on the ground for Catalunya.
Time is called.
Now, Tommy, we're going to have to see the replay here because I'm not quite sure where the contact was caused, but Mexico had the ball in advantage. It looked like it was a completely accidental collision here between 2 players from Mexico and 1 Catalunya player. Right here, there is a collision.
It was an involuntary collision. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. I'm starting to get not the hay fever.
Oh, let's hope it's not that. I might have to start scooching away from you, trying to go home fully healthy here, Tommy. But, at the same time, there's a lot of energy and a lot of emotions coming up to us right now. So this is not a good sign, but
oh, come on. Let's hope everything's okay.
We are all wishing and hoping her the best. And
they moved the player off the court. I think it's also just the tumble was really an involuntary mismatch with the legs twisting around and then tumbling. Again, it's not that bad of a surface to play on at all. It's a really nice surface.
It's a very forgiving surface too.
It is, isn't it?
Like I said earlier,
if you get your foot tangled up, you're going to get twisted.
Well, exactly. And so I'm curious to see if we are able to get another replay here on this particular occurrence. What actually happened? I know we had one player on Mexico colliding in the back of the Catalan player here on the ground, which we don't have a clear view of from here to see who it is. However, we are hoping
Catalan coach, assistant coach is going over there as well to make sure the player is okay. And I see Mr. Bartoli down there, showing his interest, especially since he is one of the founders and he wants to make sure that nobody gets hurt here.
Absolutely.
And that's the importance of the game. And as I said, the game. We play the game, and you play for fun. Sure, you play to win. You want that World Cup trophy.
That's right.
But not by running over other people.
Not at all. Awesome. Well, we're going to get a cutout here for a quick highlight reel of the longest rally of the weekend.
Yeah, this is the longest rally of all the term.
Which was then stolen by Mexico, returned to Catalunya. And this, what you're witnessing right now is the essence of Fireball, as you see both teams pursuing the ball with a ferocious attempt of ownership here. Knowing what's at stake, trying to capitalize on this opportunity. A lot of balance being shown here by a couple of the defenders and the attackers in order to be able to maintain possession here, as well as to regain possession if they didn't have it. And so this was a lot of fun to watch, and I wish it could have continued for a few more possessions, maybe even turned over a couple more times. We are now getting word, and we can quite just now see that the player is now up. She is walking under her own power with a slight assistance from coach. We have a shoe off though, so it seems like this might be a little bit of a exhaustion-induced cramp. Hoping that's all it is here, and we can get her stretched out and she can return to play.
So it's a close game still, 93-85. Mexico has control of the ball. The timeout was called with Mexico having possession.
Correct. They were in the middle of a possession here on this one, Tommy, so that one will be reinstated. Points will stay.
And
they will have
to them.
They will have the player that most recently had the ball go to serve. So it's not a change of possession and an additional captain being used. We will have that player start back with the ball. I'm not exactly sure which one it was, but we will be made aware very shortly. As soon as we are, they will resume play as if this incident hadn't happened, except the momentum was cut off here, Tommy. Now we're going to have to see if they're able to find that from the advantage that they were in significant open space there.
Yeah, they're bringing ice. I can see the medics are bringing ice over to the player.
Well, that throws my cramp theory right out of the window on this one, Tommy. So it looks like it's a little bit more serious, but hopefully still nothing she's unable to overcome and return to the game. But we will
so Mexico's back in control.
That's a
that was a two-second violation
for sure. And And you can see the smiles on their faces there as a wily vet in Sabbiadoro here, who is very, very, very adept to using that auto pass to his advantage, and just used it a little bit too early there before he was able to turn the corner, resulting in a 2-second violation.
So we're 95-85, 10-point difference. I might be repeating myself, but you know,
anything can happen. Anything can happen here, Tommy. But Catalunya is going to have to really strap up and get a turnover. And that's not the direction we're heading in at the moment. This is starting to be
overstepped.
2 seconds.
We can hear the cheering from Mexico. A lot of the cheering
The
going on.
the fans of Mexico can start to smell this one. We still have quite a few ball possessions left to go here for Mexico, and this score can change very rapidly. But
I think we're at the 4th ball possession. No,
yes.
3rd.
But we know that right now we have a little bit of a predicament on our hands for Catalunya. And Mexico is ready with a court flip. That had longest game potential right there, as we see a little bit of a Spider-Man, web shoot right there from number 9 on Mexico. He was a little bit unsure as to why he wasn't able to catch that one. We love the self-pep talk right here on this one. He says, next time that one's mine, and maybe I'll grow a little bit of Spidey powers. Hey, they know that they are in an advantage here to be able to run some this 30-second clock out.
What was called? 9.
There might have been some walking on the back line here. I'm waiting to hear who was at fault.
Number 5.
I see a number 10, number 8. Oh, wow.
5, 13, and 17.
Okay, they were calling him out. So this is... It looks like this is going to be a walking warning.
5, 3, and 17.
Oh, wow. That's number 5 for Mexico only? Okay. This is a very uncharacteristic foul on a very, very, very experienced veteran here from Mexico. It's not often that you see them get called for that. Let's see if Catalunya can take advantage of having an extra attacker here in this possession to be able to cause a turnover and potentially close this gap, knowing they don't have any more ball possessions coming up.
So this is the 6th possession, or?
All right. That's a great wall-up defense there for Catalunya to stop the pursuer from heading towards the neutral lane. Okay, here we go. This is about where it's going to come in. Yep. Oh, my goodness. Catalunya is about to even up. They're about to even up the
foul count.
The foul count. Well, not, yeah.
Actually, they're going to be getting a player back in. They might have one go out for this foul.
And he took off a shoe in the meantime. Was this a trip? Listen, if there was ever any question as to whether or not these players are going all out for this game, I think that play defines it right there. We have a player flying out of bounds, a shoe flying with him. It wasn't even his shoe, and we're still trying to figure out all of what is going to be the result of that play.
And they're still, and yet the players helped each other up, and
Yep.
they greeted each other. So
no harm done here on this one. We're just going to see.
Kudos to them, or chapeau as they say in French. It's just really nice.
Okay, so we have -2 points for the lane infraction on number 24. I also am surprised that they only called that a neutral lane infraction because he was sliding into the captain's lane. So there was a possibility for it to be a double foul.
No, they didn't call the foul. They didn't call the
I'm
foul.
sorry, not a foul, but as far as a neutral lane infraction is concerned, the value of point subtraction for a captain's lane invasion is significantly more if a opposing team player lands in the red there. Could have been 10 points instead of 2, so very fortunate.
So because the play happened, there's 2, 4, 6, 7. They're all back in play.
Yep.
So the possession, they had the 1 possession plus.
It's going to be very interesting here to see if Catalunya can muster up an interception at any point in these last few possessions from Mexico. Okay, that was a good deflection, but we need interceptions at this point, Tommy. They should have been swinging up instead of swinging down. I know in the heat of the moment, it's much easier to swing down than to think to remember to swing up. But if you want the ball to be anywhere in your potential for receiving that,
And
that
actually,
hand needs to be going
if
up.
you can hit it to go up, it's better chance that not touching the ground, you got more chances of playing it.
Exactly. And as we saw on that extended play, the highlight was shown just a few minutes ago, that bounced off of several people prior to being intercepted ultimately. And it wasn't because it wasn't going to pay. Here's the interception that Catalunya has been waiting for, and they're breaking out into the corner. Let's see if we can get a court flip. Sure can, and they are closing this gap. Oh my goodness, they were unable to take full advantage of it, but that is quite a few points that Catalunya was not expecting to get. And right on cue, Tommy.
You know, you were saying that they needed to
swing up. I said to swing up, and the player that swung down on just the very last possession must have heard me up here, Tommy. I didn't realize I was talking that loud.
Actually, the coach turned around and looked at you and went, thank you.
You know what? He probably did, but, you know, it looks like all of Catalunya's supporters right now are standing up behind the bench, would be skewing their vision up here to us in the box.
Second foul for Mexico. Somebody's out.
Wow.
So
if they're calling this foul, I'm curious to see if Catalunya is going to be awarded an advantage possession and get to inbound the ball here, having had possession with it last prior to the foul.
No, it had gone out.
It had, but I'm curious as to what the foul is.
How they're going to call it and what they're going to do with it.
Right. I know it went out of bounds, but they had it. It could have been sent out of bounds, forced by that foul. So let's see what the officials ultimately call here. We're taking a second here, guys, in order to be able to get the decision by the table judges as to who is going to be inbounding the ball next. Catalunya was on quite the interception run there, which okay, it's going back to Mexico per our regular schedule.
So number 3 is putting it inbound.
Mexico is down.
Number 5 needs to start moving around. As they called it, they don't walk. They got to move.
Right. Well, the countdown has not started here. So prior to the 5-second countdown that you all are able to see on the dual screens, players can walk and catch their breath. But as soon as that 5-second clock starts, they must begin to move.
So something's been called as a timeout.
Now, I must advise number 14 for Catalunya to calm down a little bit here, because yelling at the ref infraction would not help his team at the moment. So let's take care of these tempers right here a little bit and make sure that we continue to play hard, as you did just aid your team in getting about 14 points they weren't expecting. We have a timeout called here.
If I understood this correctly, this is the last possession of the tournament coming up.
Now, you must have heard it better than I, Tommy. There was a little bit of background noise here from the fans that are getting excited. I believe that there is at least 2 more possessions, but you could be right. All right, we're still seeing some energy here from both of the benches to be able to see if we can rally one more turnover. Listen, you know, we've got about a 19-point gap that needs to be closed here for Catalunya in order to be able to potentially see any type of further competition. And I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's very unlikely unless they're all able to get their heads on straight and swing up, swing up, swing up. So for all the young and future Fireball Extreme Challenge players, word to the wise: if you're in the airspace of a ball that is of any reach to you, swing up. Your teammates are behind you and they're looking for that interception.
Come on, break out, and let's see what happens here.
Mexico seems to be toying with them a little bit. All right, and Mexico's got it inbound. That has got to be 2 seconds.
That was 2-second violation.
That might have been an intentional 2 seconds to go ahead and wrap things up.
That was the actual end.
I said.
That was it. That was it.
I will say it was a very smart play, actually, on behalf of the very experienced veteran Daniela. She was able to know that, listen, I have secured possession and I'm not letting Catalunya get an opportunity to get this ball.
Right, because you know, if you lose that ball, it's not only 10 points. It doesn't take much to recuperate that. The kind of breaks that Catalunya had, they could have gone that way.
Absolutely.
So it's just been an incredible run. Very close game, a lot closer than we had expected. And so Mexico wins the
2025 International World Cup of Fireball Extreme Challenge. I will say the result is not as much of a surprise to me, Tommy, but I will say that the score is. I must give significant applause to all of the teams that competed throughout this weekend, and in particular Catalunya, for keeping this game incredibly tight and incredibly entertaining.
Now, I want to just take a moment to want the cameras to look on there and look at all the players, the 2 teams, the men fighting for the trophy in the middle, and they're all cheering together, yelling Mexico. And I think they said earlier on they yelled Catalunya, then Mexico.
Yes, yes. Well, very
that's
consistent.
Out there, that friendship, that playing, that fun in games. It's really important. Tomorrow, people will be heading home.
Yeah.
But this evening, we'll be having fun together, sitting around the table and talking about what's going on. And Mexico wins the title, and they are still undefeated.
They are still undefeated.
So
and
congratulations to the whole team, to the coach, to if there's
all of the
friends
supporters
back in Mexico watching this, or even in the States watching on this, Mexico played an incredible game. They played an incredible tournament, and
Mexico
so
operated.
I see a limping warrior coming back in, but really great.
Awesome.
So it's just been an incredible run all around. Close game, lots of smiles, but lots of smiles also on the other side.
Well, Mexico played like a well-oiled machine this weekend, and, you know, I just got to give them a shout-out. Their preparation leading into this was an absolute masterclass by Coach Jaime Goto, who really has figured out what the process is in order to be able to create this experience for his players. And let's go to the interviews.
No interviews, okay.
Well, they gave us a little bit of a pump fake there, Tommy, so the game must not be over. A little bit of a pump fake on those interviews, so back to us.
Ok, chicos. México, campeones del mundo, primera Copa del Mundo de Fireball Extreme Challenge. Fue un partido muy duro, muy bello, exemplar. Háblanos de cómo lo jugaron, cómo lo sintieron de adentro.
Pues la verdad fue un partido bastante cardíaco, como diríamos en México. Fue algo muy bien jugado por parte de los dos equipos, bastante duro, bastante intenso, y creo que pues ambos dimos lo mejor que teníamos. La verdad, todos dimos lo mejor de nosotros, se vio la preparación, el tiempo que entrenamos en todo el año, y la verdad, pues nada, qué mejor que esto, un gran resultado.
Sí, la verdad es que sí fue un partido bastante fuerte, tanto de ellos como de nosotros. Nos supimos defender bastante bien, íbamos abajo, remontamos, y justo como dije, somos guerreros, los lesionados remontaron perfectamente, y aquí estamos, ganamos.
Ok, ahorita se entrenaron por 12 meses. 12 meses muy largos. Partieron en 200, llegaron en 12 y ganaron la Copa. Ahorita el reto va a ser la próxima competencia. ¿Cómo se van a preparar por la próxima y cosa van a decir a los mexicanos a casa?
Pues yo creo que vamos a prepararnos más duro, y sobre todo pues vamos a invitar a toda la gente que nos está viendo de México a participar, a intentar a unirse a este deporte tan bonito que la verdad no tienen una idea de lo satisfactorio y lo increíblemente rápido que es, y es algo pues que nosotros pues queremos mejor dicho compartirles para que se acerquen a nosotros y pues lo practiquen, lo intenten, y pues a darle más cada vez.
Sí, claro, la próxima Copa vamos a defender nuestro título, vamos a seguir siendo campeones de aquí en adelante.
Una última cosita que necesitan, ¿no quieren decir a los mexicanos de casa?
Pues un saludo muy grande. Gracias a todos los que nos apoyaron, gracias a todas las familias que están en casa viéndonos. Un saludo muy grande a mi familia, a mi mamá, a mi papá, a mis hermanos. Gracias por apoyarnos a todos.
Sí, claro que sí. Justamente un saludo a todos. Muchísimas gracias a todos los que están atrás de nosotros, porque es un equipo extremadamente grande atrás de nosotros. Es un apoyo tanto de familia como de otras personas. Y pues muchísimas gracias también a toda la parte organizativa de aquí. Un saludo a mi familia también.
Nos vemos a la premiación. Hasta luego. Gracias.
So we'll see you at the award ceremony, and everybody's talking here, and we're getting ready to go for that. So we're going to be signing off. This is Tommy saying goodbye. Thank you for being with us during this tournament. And for me, it's been an honor to be up here. It's been an honor to be up here with you all, you and with Evan earlier on, Nicole earlier on. We've had a great team. And even though they're doing the Catalonian interview, I got to sign off. Thanks. Lots of love to everybody. Play this game, it's beautiful.
Chicos, partido increíble, grandísima Cataluña, partita muy peleada, muy cerca como resultado final. Com se sienten?
Bueno, crec que hem fet una gran competició. Hem pogut jugar contra els millors i competir tots els partits contra els millors. Així que, bueno, ara que la Camila digui el que li toca.
Bueno, fa 3 mesos l'equip ni es coneixia, amb pocs entrenos ens hem esforçat, hem treballat i molt orgullosa del que hem fet com a equip i també del rival que ens ha tocat, molt respectuós i un gran rival.
You must be very proud because you are doing other sports, you are champions in other sports, you decided to take this challenge. Oh, perdón, estoy hablando en español. Ustedes practican otros deportes, decidieron de aceptar este reto y se ponieron a la prueba, llegaron prácticamente a la final con mucho éxito, muy valor. ¿Cómo se siente ahorita?
Bé, la veritat que molt bé. Òbviament tots venim de diferents esports i el que ens uneix és a l'esport en general, les ganes de competir, les ganes de guanyar sempre, i crec que això ho hem demostrat avui, tant en la final com els altres 2 dies.
Sí, bueno, crec que al final el més bonic és que tots practiquem esport, a tots ens agrada i ho gaudim molt.
Muchas gracias, nos vemos a la premiación. Hasta luego. Tenemos a otros 2 compañeros de Cataluña. Hola, tenemos un otro compañero aquí de Cataluña. Dinos cómo te fue.
Bueno, hem anat agafant sensacions al llarg del torneig, per tant, ens ha sortit una molt bona final contra un molt bon equip i s'ha de dir que ens hem aconseguit portar molt bé entre tots i no ens coneixíem de fa molt, per tant, ha sigut una experiència brutal y pues a seguir trabajando, no queda una otra.
¿Quieren decir algo a las personas, a los familiares, a los amigos en Catalunya?
Agrair als nostres pares que sempre ens estan suportant, a les famílies que ens estan veient ara i quan tornem ja celebrarem.
Jo als meus amics, els de tota la vida i sobretot els de Ciències Ambientals que porten donant mà pel sac tota l'estona amb què volien que els digués alguna cosa. Per tant, Ciències Ambientals, visca la UAB.
Muchísimas gracias, los vemos a la premiación. Gracias, hasta luego.
Awesome. Well, that was an incredible breakdown here from all of the players on the two championship teams that will be interviewed. We are getting ready to sign off here from Fireball Extreme Challenge to get ready to view the awards ceremony. It has been my absolute pleasure, Darren Williams, being able to be in the booth with you all during this journey. And we are going to show you all some highlights to close things out. Until next time, we'll see you from Italy.
Posso solo che dire wow, che emozione, che esperienza. Buonasera a tutti qui presenti e voi che siete a casa. È stato un paio di giorni emozionanti vedere queste 6 squadre che hanno dato il tutto sul campo per portarsi a casa questo bellissimo trofeo della Coppa del Mondo 2025 Fireball Extreme Challenge. Siamo qui insieme alle prime 3 squadre qualificate, ma prima di andare avanti a loro vorrei rendere un grande applauso a tutte le squadre che hanno partecipato, perché è molto importante ricordarsi tutti questi atleti. Sono stati bravi, volenterosi di giocare, di dare il cuore sul campo. Bravi a tutti quanti. L'organizzazione, alla fondazione dello spirito della Fireball Extreme Challenge. E ora passeremo a quello che tutti hanno aspettato. Passeremo alla fase della premiazione. Al terzo posto, medaglia di bronzo per India, che vorrei che venisse qui avanti, e a premiare la squadra indiana sarà Carla Manna Pinzero. Vorrei dire che Carla è una delle socie fondatrici della fondazione e veramente ha dato un grande contributo, e come l'hanno dato la squadra dell'India. Complimenti all'India che è arrivata qui da così lontano. Come dicevo prima, mi sembrava di parlare del libro Cuore del mondo degli Amicis, che parlava dagli Appennini alle Ande, e qui ci siamo trovati dalle Himalaya alle Dolomiti. Che viaggio che hanno fatto e che partite che hanno fatto. Eccoli inquadrati, felici della loro medaglia. Felice anch'io con loro, un po' emozionato come lo sono loro. Sono stati veramente bravi, bravissimi. E si sente lo spirito in giro che applaude, anche con la canzone, con il tema del Fireball, che è Pass It On. E loro quando torneranno a casa faranno proprio questo, Pass It On alle altre generazioni che verranno dopo di loro per giocare, per tornare ai prossimi campionati mondiali. Questi sono momenti memorabili che riporterai presso per sempre. E poi guarda dove siamo, Lignano Sabbiadoro, una località bellissima nel nord Italia che ci ha ospitato questi giorni e ha dato tanto. L'entusiasmo che vedete qui c'era anche durante il gioco, ed era quella la cosa importante, di ricordarsi che è un gioco. Certo, vogliamo tutti vincere, ma è un gioco di squadra, è un gioco d'insieme, è un gioco per venire insieme. E questi ragazzi da queste 6 squadre sono stati insieme questi giorni, è stato veramente bello accoglierli tutti. Per la medaglia d'argento verrà presentata da una delle fondatrici, Fabiola Lopez Rivera, che darà la medaglia d'argento alla squadra che ha dato tanto in campo. Sono stati bravissimi, la Catalogna. Questi ragazzi hanno veramente combattuto e hanno dato il cuore su questo campo e non è stato facile. Sono riusciti a rientrare, come ha detto uno dei giocatori prima, dopo la semifinale, hanno parlato di quello che gli ha fatto arrivare a questa finale ed è stata la dedizione che hanno messo nel gioco. Il viaggio per loro è stato un po' più corto del viaggio indiano e torneranno a casa con una bellissima medaglia d'argento.
a todos. Muchas gracias.
Diamo un grande applauso a questa squadra Catalogna, anche loro una squadra giovane che si è presentata qui piena di speranze, è arrivata vicino, purtroppo si è incontrata con una squadra molto forte. Ed ora, per consegnare la medaglia d'oro, sarà consegnata alla squadra vincitrice dal vicepresidente della fondazione della Fireball Extreme Challenge, Darren Williams. Ma non ho detto la squadra che ha vinto, ma in un modo non dovrei dire nulla perché hanno parlato sul campo. Ma se voi aveste visto le partite avreste visto quello che abbiamo visto noi dall'alto, una squadra eccezionale, una squadra di un talento incredibile, con un cuore enorme, con una voglia di vincere, e l'hanno dimostrato, ma hanno vinto non solo sul campo, hanno vinto di simpatia. Gli vogliamo un mondo di bene e diamo il benvenuto a questa squadra fantastica, imbattuta da 6 anni al Messico. Prima di continuare, Darren, un attimo, qui abbiamo la squadra tutta riunita e a presentare questo trofeo a una squadra che veramente lo merita, di nuovo Darren Williams, che presenterà alla squadra messicana il trofeo che alzeranno verso il cielo, le mani unite sul globo, perché con le mani unite sono riusciti a conquistare questo bellissimo trofeo. Un'altra congratulazione, un altro applauso. Viva il Messico, campioni del mondo 2025! bellissima questa immagine, tutte le squadre insieme sulle note di pass it on, che vuol dire passa, ma noi diciamo passaparola perché il Fireball è qui per restare, il Fireball is here to stay. Congratulazioni a tutti, viva tutte le squadre e viva il Messico, campioni del mondo 2025. Ed ora si dia inizio alle celebrazioni tutti insieme per far festa.
a message that we all need to send. There's a message. Let's keep on fighting till the end. Whatever life throws our way, unshakable we will stay together. We'll win the day. Whatever we have to face, together we up the pace. Together, with power and grace, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on.
Let your heart beat with rhythm of sharing. Let your brothers and sisters see the fire in your eyes, the steel in your daring. Go the distance you can reach. For the sky. Go the distance, it's your time. It's your time, it's your time, it's your time. No letting go, no compromise.
Whatever life throws our way, unshakable we will stay together.
arms out, find the hand of a friend. There's a message that we all need to send. There's a message. Let's keep on fighting till the end. Whatever life throws our way, unshakable we will stay together. We'll win the day. Whatever we have to face, together we up the pace. Together, with power and grace, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on.
Let your heart beat with the rhythm of sharing. Let your brothers and sisters see the fire in your eyes, the steel in your daring. Go the distance you can reach. For the sky. Go the distance, it's your time. It's your time, it's your time, it's your time. No letting go, no compromise.
Whatever life throws our way, unshakable we will stay together. We'll win the day. Whatever we have to face, together we up the pace. Together, with power and grace, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Pass it on. We move on. It's not the prize. It's not the win. It's not the game. It's not the blame. It's not the fear. It's not the dream. It's how we make each other heroes in our story. Whatever life throws our way, unshakable we will stay together. We'll win the day. Whatever we have to face,
Para visitar a los mexicanos a casa.
together with power and grace. Whatever life throws our way, whatever the doubters say, together we'll win the day. Whatever we have to face, together we up the pace. Together with power and grace, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Feel the world turn, take the glow in your hand. It's a movement we can all understand. Hold your arms out, find the hand of a friend. There's a message that we